Hello, a very good day to everyone. Myself Swathi.P from Sri College of Engineering. For today's video, we have the topic network management. Under this, let us study about the network management components, dumbbell architecture, and interoperability. So let us see the first topic. So before we go into the further topics, we have to see what is network management. So network is nothing but it is used to connect between any of the two. It is used to connect between any of the two processors. So that is network management is concerned with network resources such as hubs, switches, bridges, routers, gateways, and connectivity among them via a network. It is like a connection bridge or intermediate between two of the datas or any of the systems. It also addresses end-to-end connectivity between any two processes in the network. So the main aim of network management is that it is used to connect between the two of the switches or any of the ports. System management. System management is the administration of the information technology system in an enterprise network or data center. An effective system management plan facilitates the delivery of information technology as a service and allows an organization's employees to respond quickly to changing business requirements and system activities. So system management and network management are the main important tool to understand the further requirements of our today's video. So network management, we have seen that it is concerned with only network resources such as hubs, switches, routers, and gateways. So hubs are nothing but it is a data centers that stores a huge amount of data. So a huge amount of data to for process the connections. It is like a common connection point, also known as network hub, which is used for connection of devices in a network. It also addresses end-to-end connectivity between any two processes in the network. So system management is basically it administers the particular organization or a particular institution or the business requirements for the particular employees. So whatever the requirements are needed, it takes care. So these are the difference between the network and system management. So further, let us see what is network management components. Hierarchical configuration of two network agents monitoring two sets of managed objects. The agent could be an embedded agent in a network element or an embedded management system communicating with agents embedded in the network elements. Network agent. The agent is used to keep the information in database while the manager is used to access the values in the database. For example, a router can store appropriate variables such as number of packets received and forwarded, while the manager can compare these variables to determine whether the router is congested or not. So from this example only we can see that the work of an agent and work of an manager. So for example, a router can store appropriate variables such as number of packets received and forwarded. This is the work of the agent. That is, the agent calculates the amount of variables or the packets received, and the manager can compare these variables and determine whether the router is congested or not. That is, it is congested or not. This means that whether there is a space for hence more data to be added, or the maximum capacity has been reached. This is calculated by the manager. So the main aim of the manager is to calculate whatever the data that has been sent by the agent and look after it. So agent can also contribute to the management process. A server program on the agent checks the environment. If something goes wrong, the agent sends a warning message to the manager. So next one is so here we can see the network components. So network management system is basically divided into network agent and network objects. So network agent is nothing but he is an agent where he collects whatever the data basis that is required, and he stores it in a form of IP packets or ports or in the form of information. So this data, whatever is stored, is sent to the network object. Network objects can either be network objects are nothing but the IP addresses of ports. Network agent is particularly like a person, or he acts like a agent where he collects the database from the particular resource or a system or an organization and classifies them, and classification is done by the manager. So in this way, network management components are classified. So network objects are nothing but IP addresses and the IP addresses and the ports. So next one we have Dumbbell architecture. So the dumbbell architecture have two customers, that is the vendor A and vendor B, where the vendor A has few of the objects and vendor B has the few of the objects. These vendors are nothing but it's like a customers where we are where we have given to differentiate, and so that it is understandable for us to read this. So vendor A is a particular customers who have a few of the objects, and vendor B is another, like a customer B. So we have application service, management service, and transport protocols. Application services are nothing but they are the software solutions that improve the speed and security and operability of the application. That is the main application of the application service is nothing but they increase the speed and security and help in operability of the applications, whereas the management services are used to manage few of the services that application services provides. So that is speed. They mainly look after the quality of the control of any of the system's resources. So in this way, the objects are nothing but the IP addresses, and both in this way we can explain the dumbbell architecture. Transport protocols are a few of the protocols that are given for us to understand, and few of the sets or rules that is taken. So it can either be transport in form of packets or in the form of bytes or in the form of any of the form we can transfer the data. In this way, the dumbbell architecture works. So the next one is interoperability. Interoperability is the ability of two or more. Interoperability is the ability of two or more persons to either communication product or to say that the product or solution is set to flexible and able to speak multiple languages. Data exchange between applications, databases, and IT systems is crucial for growth of modern technology. So for growth of modern technology, interoperability diagram helps us to understand the modern technology. So in modern technology, nowadays we have blooming technologies, that is the deep machine learning, artificial intelligence, and IoT, which is the Internet of Things. Approaches to improving or achieving interoperability include conducting compatibility tests, engineering products with a common standard, and using the same technology, coding language, or syntax across multiple systems when appropriate. So interoperability is used for operability of two or more devices system or a network to claim each other as a strength within a communication product. It to say that the product or solution set is flexible and able to speak multiple languages. So here we have the interoperability diagram where NMS is the network management system where vendor A sends the messages to the vendor B, where he receives the message in the form of resources or the protocols. After receiving them in the form of resources or protocol, it is sent to the network agent, where the network agent is the one who classifies the databases. And when he is classifying the databases are sent to the manager to differentiate the variables and see if the sent data is congested or not. That is, if the space is available for the data storage or still more of the needs to be added. So network objects are nothing but IP addresses, and both in the same way in vendor B also, they are vice versa. Whatever message is sent from vendor A goes to the vendor B, and both work in the same way. So both work in the same way. So in today's video, we learned about the dumbbell architecture, and we have seen about the interoperability. We have seen a few of the network management components, where in network management components, we have network management system, which derives the network agent, when network agent in turn provides the network objects, where network object stores the whatever databases that was given. So that's it for today's video. Thank you. Have a nice day.